Alright, so it's time for another video, and this time it's going to be what I plan on watching during this quarantine, and what really you guys should start watching on the streaming services. So this basically includes Netflix, Amazon, ESPN, Disney Plus, Hulu, and of course you gotta put Apple on there as well. But we're going to start this list off with Netflix. So on Netflix, things I've watched that I think are really good, you guys should probably watch them too, are Stranger Things, which of course everybody knows Stranger Things, I think a little bit by this point. Outer Banks as well is on that as the same thing. All Americans on Netflix, it ain't really like a part of the streaming service, like it isn't self-made by it, but it's on there and I recommend you watch that because I think it's a pretty good show. And then you have Mr. Iglesias, which is a little like go-to comedy act that I kind of enjoy. And then you also have Fuller House, which of course most people know is just the sequel to basically Full House. And then if you're just going to go watch some comedy specials, you have Gabriel Iglesias, Jeff Dunham, and Kevin Hart. Those are probably my top 3 comedians that I like to watch on Netflix. Then some movies that if you're like into romance type things, you have The Kissing Booth and To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Some things I plan to watch are Ozark and Tiger King because they've been really my list of things I really want to get to watch. Plus Tiger King was like really popular. I kind of want to see what that whole documentary was about. And Ozark, I've just heard good things about it and I've had it recommended from people that know me to watch it. Then some things I may end up watching are Hollywood, Too Hot to Handle, Money Heist, All Day and Night, and then you have Last Chance U and QB1 shows. And also you have Avatar The Last Airbender, and then Amateur. So basically all these shows are just shows I may end up watching on Netflix. I don't really know. I know some of these I've already started, like Too Hot to Handle I somewhat started. I also might end up watching some other shows, like Love is Blind, for example. I just don't really know what I plan on watching in the near future. Then we've got Disney Plus, which shows I've already watched on Disney Plus include The Mandalorian, which is a part of Star Wars. So if you're into that series, I imagine you've already watched this, so you don't really need to tell me. But this is a lot different than Star Wars. I found this a lot more enjoyable than most of the Star Wars movies because, let's say I wasn't really a big Star Wars diehard fan. I kind of enjoy this. It has Baby Yoda in it, of course. Everybody knows about Baby Yoda. And this is a pretty good show for me. Then you have The Imagineering Story, which, of course, The Imagineering Story is just phenomenal. If you like diving into, like, Disney history or just want to see how Disney was basically created, The Imagineering Story is kind of the way to go. One day, Disney takes a deep dive on what Disney employees do, like at work basically, and what they do behind the scenes, which is kind of cool to watch. And High School Musical, the musical, is basically the sequel to High School Musical in kind of a way. But of course, I'm a diehard classic High School Musical because that's kind of where I grew up in. That's what our main series was when I was a kid. So I had to watch this, and I kind of was actually better than I expected. It was a decent show. Then some things I plan to watch are Pop Culture, Disney Insider, BR Chef, Encore, and Jeff Goldblum. I think most of these I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I haven't really gotten into them that hard though. Most of them I think I might just put in the background when I'm like editing or something simple like that. Just put it in background and watch it on the side while I'm doing a different task. And I may end up watching basically like any other show on Disney Plus or like any other movie because it's basically just the whole Disney collection. So of course I'm going to hop on that ship sometime. Then we got ESPN. I plan on watching The Last Dance. Haven't really got that far into it yet. I got 1 episode done. It seems interesting. I'm really interested in like things I'm interested in is history. So I'll be probably end up watching it sometime here soon. And plus it's Michael Jordan. Of course you have like a bunch of rumors going out now about it. But I'll probably end up watching it sometime. And then like any of the 30 for 30s are great. Like my 4 that I really love, or the 4 I've basically watched the most, are the 4 Falls of Buffalo, Cleveland, Catholic versus Convicts, and probably my favorite one on there is Bad Boys, which also includes Michael Jordan. Kind of like it came before The Last Dance, so it's kind of like a prequel. They also have like Jordan's baseball stint and like a 30 for 30 on that, so that's a good watch as well. Then you have Peyton's Places. Of course, he does this for NFL's 100th year, basically. But it was a pretty interesting show. Peyton Manning's kind of an interesting person. So that will be something I plan on watching here soon. Then on Amazon Prime, we have The Perfect Game, which was basically my favorite movie when I was a kid, because it was just a bunch of little leaguers that grew up in Mexico, and they win the championship. But like the way to get to there is kind of interesting. Then any of the All or Nothing series on there, I'm kind of working on completing these myself. A little lackluster right now. I just started season 1. I'm on the Arizona Cardinals season, so that's what I'm going through on Amazon. Then on Hulu, some things I plan on watching: Brooklyn Nine-Nine, even though it's not really Hulu exclusive. Same with Rick and Morty, but this is Rick and Morty's last season, I think it is, so may have to get into that. And then Family Guy as well, I may end up watching. And there's like a bunch of shows I just may end up watching on here, like White Collar's on here, Friday Night Lights, How I Met Your Mother, American Dad, The Regular Show. Basically a bunch of shows that happened before I hit my teenage years, or like before I'm like growing to adulthood. So those are just some watched shows that I need to kind of watch. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I know it's kind of my time. I just haven't gotten into it yet. I probably will here soon, though, if I start watching it. Then, Apple streaming service, of course, not really known for anything yet. Nothing's really hit the spotlight yet, but maybe if I just have some spare time, I may end up watching some of these shows, like The Banker, The Morning Show, For All Mankind, Home, Central Park, and I think this one like just came out. It kind of looks interesting. It's Defending Jacob. It has Chris Evans in it, who plays Captain America in the MCU, basically. So, it may end up being a decent watch. So, I might have to check it out sometime here soon. So, those are some shows I recommend to watch. If you guys agree or disagree with me, or if you guys have any other shows that you suggest to watch, put those down there below, and I may end up watching them sometime here soon, or just during this quarantine, of course. And if you guys have any suggestions for another video, make sure to put that down in the comments below as well. And who knows, may end up being one of the next videos. Well, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to click those links down there: Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And of course, just make sure to keep on weaving through every day, just like it is your last.